The impact on the missionaries has been phenomenal. As the missionaries have discovered their own stories, they gain a eternal perspective in working with new converts and investigators. They pass that testimony on to those that they teach. And as the new converts then have the opportunity to go to the temple and do the work for their own ancestors and prepare later to go to the temple to be able to take out their own endowments. There's a great strength that takes place in those new converts. Their gospel roots sink deep really fast in that whole process.
And I just need to drive it home how critical this is. When President Hansen rolled this out in this mission, and the gift of family history, it was working, but it didn't catch on fire until he had the missionaries start gathering their own personal stories. Now you may have heard earlier in this program of a situation, one of many examples of a missionary that did exactly that and what it has meant to them. But I want you to know that this is the key. When members start gathering their stories, and this is really simple, this is just a 3-ring binder with a letter that this is from our mission president, but it can come from a stake president. It may even do better to come from a stake president to the high priest group leaders and the bishops. Just put some sheet protectors in there, 3 or 4, and then just tell them, go gather one story. Go gather one story, a faith-promoting, perhaps a conversion story of one of your dead ancestors. Put it in there and share it with your family and see what will happen. You just see what happens in your family. Because what will happen is the spirit of Elijah will start. And it'll start growing inside each heart of your family members. And they're going to want to hear more stories. And they're going to go gather their own stories. That's when people catch the vision. And that's when things take off. Not when they go to a pedigree chart. It's when they hear the stories. And all of a sudden, their life has a whole lot more meaning. And that's when the connection begins. And that's when they want to get going.
I've written to my family, telling them I need stories, I need pictures, I need to know who my ancestors are. And they've been able to gather those stories for me. And they've come closer together at home. I know that to be true by the letters they send me.
As I read about my heritage, I knew that Elijah's prophecy was being fulfilled, but my heart was being turned to my ancestors, and I asked my Father in heaven if my ancestors were helping me. And I know that my grandfather, he's behind me 100%. I want to be a missionary like he was. He is in the spirit world right now.
So when I got out on my mission, President Hansen, he would always say, this is so important, this is critical. It's vital that you get stories of your ancestors. When I did that, and when I knew of its truth, I could go out and I can tell anybody, this is true. Elijah did come back. You need to go to the temple and be baptized for your ancestors. And that's been a powerful tool to me as a missionary. And ever since then, ever since I've been able to testify of that, I've been able to overcome my other fears of testifying of Joseph Smith, of the Book of Mormon. I've become a better missionary.
And I'd really like to encourage anybody that's starting, or any mission, any ward, any stake. It's not a hard process. It's just a process of get the stories, catalog them, get a notebook, just put them in, and you'll have a really great spiritual experience in having that in your life. And it will make that connection for you as you do your family history and as you go to the temple. It will really have a deep, deep meaning to you.